So welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. I create content and learn. Welcome back. To help people. And so, if you're coming as a student, you have to be like in school. Find my thoughts all over the place for those. If you're new here, my name is Glory. We are not here for fashion, but if we can do the both, by all means, we do so. Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Glory. If you're a returning subscriber, my name is still Glory. And so here on my channel, I talk about lifestyle, I talk about faith, and I will soon be talking about nursing. So if you're thinking of going into the nursing profession, stick around because that's going to be happening really soon, sooner than you expected. As you can tell from the title, no, it's not a fashion video. Yes, this video is supposed to be like, a relaxed kind of, supposed to give you like a relaxed kind of vibe, or like it's giving, I don't know what vibe it's giving right now, but we are not Gen Zs and we are not using that word it's giving. So let's move straight to what this video is about. Yes, so if you've been considering coming to Canada, or if you've been considering or asking yourself, should you move to Canada or not? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? Or if you're in your process of planning, I think like these are some things that you should, take a look at or consider. Basically, put in mind, whilst making your plans, right? Because people make preparations like physically for like the physical move, but then they don't consider all other factors, right? Especially like the mental aspect of it. I don't know if you've moved before, you know that like moving or like changing an environment is much more than like, changing your physical location. There's like the majority of the stress actually is mental. And so if you prepare more mentally, I think you'll be able to settle in better than if you did not prepare at all, especially like mentally. And so with that being said, the first thing I think you should consider is that you are starting all over again, right? So if you're planning on moving to Canada, you're basically planning on starting all over again. Especially like if you do not have a job already here. So basically you are coming empty, and this thing applies to like different people at different phases, like, or different people in different levels of their life. So imagine if you're a family person, you're a family man, and you have a business that you built back in your home country for about, let's say, 10, 15, 20 years. And can you, leave the business that you built and then move to Canada and start all over again? Considering the fact, especially if you don't have a job already, if you've not been offered a job already, you're just wanting to come and start all over by yourself. You have to consider that you have people that you're feeding back at home. You have people who are going to be relying on you. And if you're going to come here like taking the student route, you'll be going to school. You also have to be working alongside. Look at that stress. I think that's one thing to consider. Look at that, and I don't know, are you going to be able to handle that? It's going to be a lot. It's going to be hectic. I really won't lie, because I don't have any family. I'm still a single person, very much single, and I'm schooling and working, and I'm not even working as much as a lot of other students are working, right? But then I'm feeling the stress, so I can't even imagine the stress that they are feeling, and then I can't imagine the stress as someone who has a family feed, right? And doesn't even have a job here, or doesn't have like a job that pays so much. I can't imagine stress that they're going to be feeling. So I think that's something that you should consider as a family person, right? If you're a family person. But then if you're a student, or like, if you're someone who doesn't have a family, you're single, you also have to consider like, who is paying your fees? Are you the one going to be working to pay your fees? Do you have a sponsor? Do you have a guardian? Do you have a partner who's going to, help you to pay your fees and things like that? So basically, you're going to start all over again. I think I like freshness, right? I like newness. It gives you like this little bit of motivation, this little bit of energy to start, to basically like, turn your life around, if we put it that way, for lack of a better word. But then yeah, you have to consider like other factors too. And the second thing would be the weather of Canada. So like a lot of people say that Canada is really cold. It is really cold. I won't even lie, it is very, very cold. But I think it depends on the region that you are staying in. So like the degree of cold like is different and is respective to like different, it is respective to different provinces basically. So I stay in British Columbia. So British Columbia is known to be like the warmest province of all the provinces in Canada. Basically, we receive like the most sunshine, even if like obviously we experience the 4 seasons, winter, spring, summer, fall. We experience the four seasons, but then it's compared to other provinces, it's still really cold here. But then compared to other provinces, it's known to be like warmer, but it's still very cold. So I think you should also consider that it's not really a myth, right? But then people think like it's so cold that you can't live in Canada. But then people are like, am I not living here? I'm living here. Right? So you would adjust to the cold. Initially, when I came, it was biting, it was piercing. But then within like a month, I had adjusted to the cold, right? Within a month, I had adjusted to the cold. And I'm not even someone who has like a strong immune system, as you would even put it. I probably would have one of the weakest immune systems because I eat nonsense. I don't really, I don't really care about my health, but then I'm not really so much of like a healthy person. And so yeah, I mean, different strokes for different folks. Don't use me to judge your situation. You may be dealing with something else within your health conditions and stuff like that. But then I'm just saying that the fact that that's the first thing everybody hears. Canada is really cold. It's really cold. Yes, it's really cold actually. But then you can survive if you dress well. That's the key. If you dress well, you will survive the cold. Yeah. So just know how much can your body tolerate cold? If you know you can't tolerate it so much, get ready to put on head warmers, hand gloves, your what's it called? Your winter socks, winter boots, winter jacket. You can wear 3, 4, 5. People wear that, right? So it depends on how much you can tolerate the cold. Okay. And so the third thing would be work. Another thing to consider would be work. So this is aside from if you're coming like without a job offer, you were not, you're not coming to Canada already having a job offer waiting for you. So yes, you will have to, work, especially if you don't have someone who is sponsoring your stay here. I would say like 75 to 80% of people or students in Canada are basically, well, let me not say Canada, but British Thompson Rivers University to be specific, or CAMS to be specific, are funding their education themselves, funding their rent themselves, funding their feeding themselves, basically sponsoring themselves, and they are working alongside schooling, or they are schooling alongside working. So that's also one thing you should consider. You should be ready to work. I mean, even if someone is sponsoring you, right, you're not going to be sponsored forever. So you should also like get ready to walk on your feet as a person, right? So yeah. And another thing like to debug about like the whole work thing, people think that you come to Canada and you find a job so easily. And I know I said on my channel that if you search, you would find. Like if you keep searching and you're consistent and persistent, you would find. But then I think it's one thing to also note that um the fact that someone found a job in like 2 months, or in a month when it came to Canada, doesn't guarantee that you're going to find a job in a month. So for some people it takes 4 months. For some people it even takes a year, right? So I think that should also help you like with the mental preparation, because I mean it's going to be so disappointing if you come with the expectation that, oh, once you get there, you're going to get a job and stuff like that, and then you now come here 8 months, you still not gotten a job, and you didn't really plan financially how you were going to sustain yourself, because you thought that once you land here, you're just going to get a job because there's a job all over in Canada. Yes, there are jobs, but then there are also lots of people too. So people are also looking for jobs. Do you get? I think there are more people than there are job opportunities. Yes, there are more people than there are job opportunities. So look at that. The next thing would be school life. So if you're going to be a student, if you're coming in as a student, that's one thing I'm still even like struggling or still yet to balance school life. Um, yeah, it's different. I mean, it's different. Especially like back from my home country, it's like the school life, is it's kind of different. Here, at least, like it's more, will I say, um, the stress is not so much. I mean, compared to where I'm coming from, the stress is not so much. But then, like, the workload is a lot. The workload is a lot. The curriculum is deeper. There are like lots of assignments, quizzes, and things to keep up with. So yes, that's something you also have to prepare yourself to do, especially if you're coming as a student. You have to prepare to be disciplined and read, and especially if you're thinking of getting good grades, if that's your goal. And then you have to find a schedule for that. You have to find a routine for that. I mean, I'm still struggling. I will not even lie. I'm still struggling like a little bit with that. But then, like consistently reading every day, I don't know. That hasn't been a thing for me. Like setting out the time every day to consistently read my school books. I'm doing schoolwork every day. That's the funny thing. I'm doing schoolwork every day, but then like I'm not reading. Do you get? I'm doing assignments, doing quizzes. Like I'm trying to catch up with deadlines and stuff like that. I mean, I think that I could plan myself better. I think that would help. But yeah, that I'm just giving you like a very, very like honest feedback or like a very, very honest review about like the whole coming to Canada school life thing. Yes, the school work is made easier because like the curriculum is organized, and I think that's one thing that helps. The curriculum is very organized, and the funny thing, like we are having midterms right now, like this week and next week. I have midterms, and I've been having midterms like back to back. I had two today, I had one yesterday, and so I haven't slept in like I've only had like 3 to 4 hours of sleep. So I was trying to connect this to something. Yeah. Um, as I was reading, I was like, imagine if like this system was like, was not as organized as this. Like the system is organized, especially like the school curriculum. It is really organized that you know when you are having your midterms, you know when you are having your exams, you know when every assignment is due. You like it's just an organized system. So from the beginning of class, from the first day of class, you already know that okay, every Fridays you're going to be having quiz. Every Wednesdays you're going to be having tests. Every Thursdays you're going to be having labs and things like that. Like it's so organized. So it helps you like, to be able to plan yourself from the beginning of the year or the beginning of the semester, right? Yeah, it helps you plan a little bit because I mean like things can come up here and there, especially like when the semester gets very busy and then you just keep up with quiz, assignments and things like that. It may be tough to keep up with reading as well. But then if you yeah, I think like if you at least make a plan, you wouldn't be so like caught off guard. Like at the beginning of this semester, I was so even if I was planned, like I was prepared, I had known when my quizzes okay, I hadn't known all of them, but then I had somewhat of an idea. But then I was missing deadlines. I noticed I was missing deadlines, like, and these things add up. That's the funny thing. Especially if you're looking at getting a really, really good grade, these things add up. Missing quizzes here and there and stuff like that. Those are the things that can like cross you from an A minus to an A, or an A to an A plus, and so, or even like an A minus to a B plus, stuff like that. So you don't want to be missing that, and just be prepared, right? Be prepared, and yeah, I hope this helps. Okay, these last few ones are like just personal things. These are personal things I think like you should also be mentally prepared to face, which I wasn't mentally prepared to face. So number five would be loneliness, right? So because especially if you're coming alone, if you're coming with a family, that's probably better. But then if you're coming alone, um yeah, you would feel a little bit lonely. I don't know if you because you're coming alone, so right, you're alone and you are lonely, right? It's so funny. Valentine's Day is by the corner, and I'm saying you are lonely. Am I lonely? Okay, I'm not lonely. I'm alone. But yeah. Well, aside from that, you are coming, and so especially if you're coming alone, like me, I came alone. Uh, and you could also like get a little bit especially like during the winter. I don't know, a lot of people I heard, um the conversations I've had with a lot of people, they say that during the winter season, like they tend to feel like depressed because winter everybody's running back into their house. When you don't even really see people's faces, and even on the bus everybody's covered up and stuff like that. When you're done with school, you're running back home, and like the weather is so like gloomy, so it's so like depressing, especially if you're now living like in a very very remote area where there are no like students, or like you don't really see people like that. I had a friend like that too. So like you can tend to like want to fall into like people say sometimes they fall into like a little bit of depression and stuff like that. It's not to scare you. I mean, me too. I was here doing the meter. I mean, I had flatmates. I think that helped. But then I think that's one thing you want to prepare yourself for, right? Because if you're already kind of coming here, um, if your plans are already in motion, you just want to prepare for that. Um, that you may feel the loneliness before like you get to like socialize and find your people, or like find your friends. Number six, people ask about the taxes. Yes, yes. So about the tax issue, I have not really like I'm yet to file my first tax. I'm going to file my tax in April, and I think so. After I do that, I'll probably be able to give you guys like better um like explanation of how the whole tax thing works. But then from what I have seen, and I think it depends on like also it depends on your contracts with the place that you work in, or the company that you work with, right? So for my company, not all companies like file your tax for you, or not all companies like pay your tax for you, right? So some companies will deduct your tax before paying you your money, so you don't even have to worry about like when you're filing your tax and stuff like that, how much you're going to pay at the end of the year or something like that. But then like there are some companies that will not do that. Like they will pay you your whole money. You have to figure out your tax and stuff like that. But then my own where I work, they pay my tax. So like we get like this pay stub. It's called like a pay stub. So they send it to me before like 3 days before I receive like my paycheck, so I can check whether my working hours are correct. The hours I worked are correct, the wage is correct, the multiplication, everything is correct. And then I'll see like the deduction, the tax deduction, CST, something, something, vacation tax. There's vacation tax. I don't even know, they keep vacation tax. I think that's for like when you go on a vacation, especially like if it's a paid vacation, they'll pay you from there or something like that. That's what I heard. I'm not really sure. Like I said, I haven't filed my taxes yet, but then with the whole tax thing, yes, you pay tax on almost everything. I think there's nothing I don't even pay tax on. What was I pay tax on? Like you pay tax on everything, especially like groceries, you pay tax. You finish buying groceries and you pay tax. You buy anything, you pay tax. Basically, food, you still pay tax, right? So, yeah, you pay tax on everything. Electricity bills, there's still tax on everything. So yeah, you do pay tax. But then it's not, I don't think it's as, I don't know, maybe it's because of like my current income level. I'm not earning so much. Like I'm not a millionaire, or I'm not even what will I call it now? Did I say a thousandaire? Okay, a little bit of a thousandaire, but like I'm not a thousandaire. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not a billionaire, right? So I don't really know. I know that the more you earn, the more you're taxed, right? But then like people say like it's so bad, right? Like the taxing is so bad. But from what I've experienced, I'm not really earning so much. But then like, it's not so bad, right? Obviously you don't even want to pay any tax because like it's the government working with you, right? And stuff like that. But then uh yeah, it's not so bad. From that, this is my personal experience now. I don't think it's so bad, right? Let's say in 2 weeks you earn $800, you probably would get paid eight, let's say 820. Sorry, you probably would get paid, let's say in between like 750, or no, maybe try to be in between 700 $800. Like it won't. I don't think it will reduce. It won't be. I don't know. It depends. I really do not know. I don't want to give like false information about like the whole tax thing. And I also plan on doing like an extra video with someone else, who is really experienced, or people who are really experienced like with the whole tax thing and some other things too on this list. And so yes, just watch out for that video, and I hope that one would really help you. And so yeah, the last thing I would just say is also like something I've noticed, like tipping. I don't know, I've never really heard people talk about it, but then like tipping is like a culture, kind of like a culture. I don't know if it's just from Canada, but I know it's kind of like a culture here in Canada. So you go to your restaurant and you order food when it's time to pay, especially if you're paying in cash, you probably wouldn't need to tip. But then if you're paying with your phone, which most people do, or paying with your card, the tip option is just always there. Like when they put in your bill and they give you to pay, you see tip, right? So you see different percentages. So it can be 5% of your bill, 10%, 15%. Yeah, I think I usually just see 5, 10, and 15%. So and you just press, or you see no tip at all, right? Or you see no and you press no. But then it's just like, yeah, it's just like the culture. I don't know, the thing here in Canada that you basically tip people. I don't know, it's not a thing back in Nigeria. Right, back in Nigeria, it's not like something that is culturally not even acceptable. Like, yeah, it's not a cultural thing for us. Like, you give someone, like, you tip someone if you want to, but here it's like, kind of like it's part of the system. I don't know how to put it, but that's how I feel. I feel like it's part of, yeah, I feel like it's part of like, the system, and part of how like the whole system runs. They just, they did a service for you, so like, it would be good if you tip them and stuff like that. Leave a comment in the comment section about one of the things you would want me to expatiate further on, or just write me a comment. What stuff were you not clear on? What stuff would you want me to do a video more on? Would you guys also love to see other people, like hear other people's opinions on all these things that I have said? Well, even if you say no, it's my channel, so I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And so yes, I would also like be inviting more people to do so, to talk about these things. And yeah, I'm also thinking of doing something will I say weird? Not weird, but like all strange on my channel. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to start it, but then I'm going to start it, and I hope it takes off really well, and I hope it meets you guys really well. And I hope you guys welcome it with love and comments, like if you want to see like more of those. So they will come in like long form like this, and they will also come in like short, right? In like a short kind of form, right? So yeah, I just expect that, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this video helped. Yeah, I'll see you guys when I see you guys, whatever that content is. Thank you so much, all of you that always like subscribe, and all of you that always share my videos, and to the people who always comment, people who always encourage me. Thank you so much. Your encouragement keeps me going. To be honest, it keeps me going. It keeps me wanting to produce more content. Yeah, see you guys, and I can see you guys whatever that content is. Bye.